The Roman Gabriel Show. Listen to The Roman Gabriel Show at RomanGabrielShow.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Roman Gabriel Show.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching The Roman Gabriel Show. And for more exclusive video and audio archives, go to our official website at RomanGabrielShow.com. That's RomanGabrielShow.com. Welcome to The Roman Gabriel Show, RomanGabrielShow.com. On streaming television at dbnatelevision.tv, and of course everywhere you get your podcasts, social networking, YouTube, and on Facebook. We're at Super Bowl 56, coming to you from Corona Del Mar Properties right here in the middle of paradise, Corona Del Mar, California, my old stomping grounds down here, and GabrielShow.com, right here at AM 820, the Big 8. Remember to go online, check out my RG Show internet page at sportstalkflorida.com. And got a huge event, Leaders and Legends, a Super Bowl celebration at UCI, E&P Institute at the Cove, about 10 minutes away tonight. We're going to have about 25 NFL legends that'll be there, including Rams legends like, Fred Dreyer, Vince Ferragamo, Leroy Irvin. Super Agent Lee Steinberg will be there. Michael Warren, Paul McDonald. It's going to be a great night, hosted by this young lady, Deb Carson, to my side. We're going to have a great time tonight, and you can't do these kind of things without sponsors. And I want to thank all of our sponsors that have stepped up during a very difficult time in Southern California to help us reach $100,000, our goal this year, to raise for the Sold Out Youth Foundation. Go to soldouttv.com. Check out what we're doing for youth in your area and all over the country. Drug and alcohol absence program, character program for school 6th and 9th graders. So coming in with me, he's Dr. Phillip Yoo of LaserMed. He has a technology that is helping many, many people overcome some very painful things. And bottom line is, our host here at Corona Del Mar Properties, Wayne Smith, has actually been treated by it. Lee Steinberg, our agent friend, has been treated by him. So, Dr. Yoo, welcome to the Roman Gabriel Show.
Pleasure to come.
Hey, it's great to be with you, and great to have you as the title sponsor tonight of the Legions and Legends.
Hey, it's an honor, so yeah.
Well, tell me, I've talked to Wayne. I've been a friend of his for about over 3 years now. And one thing, my wife and I have been worried about him because he has a hard time getting around with his knees, a lot of pain. And we've been wondering what he's going to do to get this thing taken care of. And so he came to see you, and there's no such thing as miracle cures, but he says that it feels a little bit better even after his first treatment. So tell me about LaserMed and about laser, and about how this whole technology works.
Yeah, it all started back in graduate high school '88 in the Detroit suburbs. Then went to Michigan State. Got the Rose Bowl that year.
There you go.
Sorry. And then I studied health education, human performance, and one of the subclasses, athletic training. So you work with the players there. Who was there back then? Tony Mandarich.
Oh, that's right.
Obviously when he got drafted, he got
Number
sick,
one
unfortunately.
overall.
Yeah. I mean, and then, Percy Snow.
Yeah.
Danny Enos is the quarterback.
Wow.
So he's coaching for Maryland now.
That was a good football team.
Yeah. And then, I would, we'd treat the players, and I was like, wow, I like this stuff, So, eventually studied some more sports medicine, got my pre-med. But I wanted to stay the natural. I wanted to get more like a hands-on rehabilitation type, treatment regimen. So I moved to Chicago, got accepted at the National College of Chiropractic, got my doctorate in chiropractic, then got a subspecialty in sports chiropractic.
Wow.
In '88, I was recruited to treat athletes at the Olympic Games in Beijing. And I would treat the retired guys like Dick Fosbury, and then guys like Michael Phelps would come to get treated. And then we started, when I came back to the States, one of my friends, he's a 10-year NFL veteran. He's a local here, went to high school Newport Beach here, John Wilborn.
Okay.
Went to Berkeley, 10 years NFL, offensive tackle, mostly for the Eagles. He would lecture at one of the Navy SEAL teams about performance nutrition. And so he dragged me to Virginia, and he said, hey, why don't you bring, we use these laser technologies to get people out of chronic pain.
When was this?
Gee, this was 2014-ish or something.
Yeah.
It's funny because the reason why I got into this is because I hurt into my disc when I was at Michigan State. My roommate was a walk-on in the football team. He'd sneak me in, and we'd lift weights with those guys, but I couldn't keep up, and I jacked my back up, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta get out of pain so I could keep training, right?
Yeah.
It forced me to, find these therapies so I can get into stuff like I do. Like,
Well, I was going to say, really what you're about is not just retired people who are bone on bone and who really need to grow cartilage.
Sports performance.
Sports performance. But what I want to talk to you about too is what you just mentioned about guys like Phelps and some of these other elite athletes you work with. So what does a laser therapy do for a athlete that is a top-notch athlete in terms of how he can benefit from it?
Yeah, so I didn't treat Phelps directly, but he had, when I was in China, I studied some traditional Chinese medicine. He had what's called cupping. The Chinese figured out the root cause of most pain and disease is inflammation and lack of qi energy. The blood doesn't move. So, he swims so much that his whole back is like tight, a lot of muscle knots. And he had the cupping, and that would release all the fascia.
Which is a technique that chiropractors are using now, right?
Exactly, yeah. Mainly Oriental medical doctors, but yeah, it's a subspecialty.
I know a lot about chiropractic because I started chiropractic when I was about 18, so I see a chiropractor about twice.
Yeah, so in Illinois, I got a subspecial certification in acupuncture, and we can do the cupping.
Oh, great. Wow, you do it all.
Well, since I've retired from chiropractic and sports chiropractic because of limitations in the scope, and now I'm working on my PhD in stem cell biology, which, it's a new field of medicine, which you can do a lot more things.
Dr. Phillip Yoo is with us, LaserMed, right here. He has an office in Garden Grove, offices Red Palm Springs, is that right?
So we got, our main one is North County, Garden Grove, next to Garden Grove Hospital. I got a small boutique clinic right here in Newport Beach, Fashion Island. And then Palm Desert, we have another boutique clinic out there too.
I wish you'd have been there when I was playing football there.
Yeah, there you go. Centennial?
My dad would have found you. I went to College of the Desert for 2 years.
Okay, COD. There you go.
Well, my dad with his knee stuff and his shoulder, that could have been great for him at that time. So for an NFL player that's looking for an edge or later in his career, trying, kind of a Tom Brady type of person, what do you do for them?
Well, it's not what I do, it's basically what the technology does, right? Like some athletes, who've had these stem cell therapies, most of them would have to go overseas. Like there's one quarterback, I don't know if I could say his name, but he had a herniated disc in his neck.
Somebody who played long. I was just going to give him.
I was going to say that. Sounds
this
like
quarterback flew to Switzerland, had stem cells, and then he won the Super Bowl, for a team that was named after a horse, right? And then Jack Nicklaus, he's a golfer, but guess what? He could have played football at Ohio State. He was an awesome athlete, but he chose golf. But golf is that's damaging to your spine. It's a one-sided sport. He wore his back out. When he was 79, one day he couldn't stand up, couldn't play golf, couldn't play tennis. So he flew to Munich, had stem cells there. Now he's 81, 82.
So you're making
back to golf, back to tennis.
So you're making this available now in the United States to where people can get it right here and not have to go anywhere. Now, tell me about is it covered by insurance or cost-wise? What do we?
So that being said, the reason why all these high-end athletes went to Europe is because when they had it done, it wasn't approved. It's still not approved for most treatments, and then it was banned, right? But if you have the means, you could afford to fly to Germany and have it done. Most people can't. That being said, there are certain FDA guidelines where you can use a limited amount of...
Here.
Yeah, we call them human tissue products, afterbirth products. The regulations are very strict. Like you can't claim anything. I can't say, I can use stem cells to cure this disorder. What I can say is, we're using this donated human umbilical cord tissue product, and that's going to help cushion, provide support to joints or torn structures.
So your client's somebody who has the means, and of course athletes who are looking for the edge, and guys that are out of the game who are in pain. How do you see this going in terms of the future for stem cell?
Because the FDA is being more stringent on what you could do here, if you can't get a patient in official study, we actually use technology to actually stimulate your body's own stem cells to activate yourself. Okay.
Is that where the lasers come in?
That's where the laser, certain wavelengths of light and laser stimulates your body's own stem cells. They're called endogenous stem cells, what you were born with. There's certain technologies from Germany. There's a new machine called SoftWave, and that is clinically proven to activate connective tissue. He had one of the technologies, the machine, the OrthoWave, the OrthoGold SoftWave stem cell signaling machine. And look, he's walking pretty much pain-free.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then, Dr. Yoo, is that something he's going to have a certain number of treatments over time, or is it kind of have one, wait and see how much his body regenerates on its own?
So, it takes years for knees to get bone on bone. I mean, decades. I mean, starts in your teens, you overdo things. Mm-hmm. So I'm very practical. So if it take like 20, 30 years for your knees to wear out, give it at least a year to, get back into pain-free living, regenerate. We did have a patient in one of our knee studies. She's 88, bone on bone, didn't want a replacement. And we have the before and after x-rays. Before it's bone on bone, 7 months later, you can visually see the cartilage regenerate, walking around pain-free. So, laser with an S. Folks who need a higher dose of cells, we have to take them overseas, just like one of the clinics I'm working in Colombia. Jim McMahon had to go down there. Yeah, he was a lot of disabled. Now he's golfing pain-free.
Oh, great.
So,
still barefooted, probably, too.
Yeah. So I had Jim talk to Lee about his experience. So I took Lee down there, and now we're stimulating the cells with this German machine, and he's finally getting results.
Oh, that's great. That's great to hear. I know Jim's had some real struggles physically in the last 10, 15 years. We're thankful for you, thankful for your sponsorship, and appreciate you coming in to the Roman Gabriel Show.
Yeah, awesome time. Thanks for inviting me. Right.
Dr. Phillip Yoo LaserMed, Palm Desert, Newport Beach, Garden Grove. When we come back, more on the Roman Gabriel Show at AM 820, the Big 8, Sports Talk, Florida.com, RomanGabrielShow.com. We'll be right back.